Hey, welcome to Freeball Thursday, where we talk about everything nerd.
Everything nerd.
Okay, this is Jay. How you doing today, brother?
I'm all right, man. It was a good day today.
Yeah?
Yeah. Got through work, got some sketching done.
That's nice.
Just practicing some head forms because, you know, head angles are a bitch.
Feeling pretty accomplished?
No, just a little. I got more stuff I got to do.
Oh, man. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. Really, what we're going to be doing is just theory crafting for Marvel's Phase 4 and also throwing out what we would like to see. I guess that's kind of rolls into theory crafting or whatever.
Okay.
But
I'm down.
So I guess we'll start with the first movie that they announced for Phase 4. And it's not the first movie in the lineup, I don't think, but they're filming it right now, which is the Black Widow movie. What do you think that's going to be about? How do you think it's going to go?
Well, we know concretely it's going to be in the past. I feel like it's going to be a montage like Captain America's film.
Right.
It's going to be a hodgepodge through various years of Black Widow's career.
Right.
What better than to give her film, giving her whole history after she's dead, successfully wrapping everything up. And the thing about her character, I think, is like she's such an enigma, even in the MCU. Like her that's her thing in the comics, and that it's like one great thing that transitions over to like, you know, the films. Even the Avengers don't know much about her. The only one that knows about her personal life is Cap.
It's Cap. Because I feel like they spent the most time together.
Yeah.
Like they went on missions together when S.H.I.E.L.D. was still up and running.
I feel like they may have dated at one point too.
I would love to believe that.
And I only say that just because of how their like, you know, banter is.
Right.
But that could just be like, you know, familiar, just banter.
Yeah. But I think I would love, okay, so if it's going to be a montage, I would kind of love it in a way to be like Widow's greatest hits from the past, you know what I mean?
Like we see like
I want to see the Budapest mission. I want to see the Red Room.
That'd be pretty dope. Like that's how the film opens up with like
the Budapest mission. Oh, the Red Room? Oh, I'm pretty sure it's going to open up in the Red Room.
Ooh, I guess like what we can also do if you want this episode, it's totally up to you, bro. How would we write a Black Widow movie? It's okay, mellow on that. Let's get through today's stuff first. And once we get through today's stuff, then like we'll get to that.
Yeah. If we have time. If we have the time. Yeah, I would really love to see the Red Room. Definitely the Budapest mission though. That'd be lit. And we know, okay, so Shang-Chi, like, how do you think that movie's going to be? I don't really know that much about him. I didn't even know he was an Iron Fist fucking character.
To be honest, I feel like we can get Iron Fist and the way that we were supposed to get Iron Fist.
With Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
I feel that.
And like I also feel that we can get like the what is that comic series about where like it's the hidden cities that have like the whole point of
tournament. The tournament.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It'd be pretty dope to get
between the sacred cities, the 7 sacred cities of heaven. The
tournament of sacred, like between the sacred cities.
Yeah,
like it'd be pretty dope to get that. Thought you'd go bring that up for the internet.
Yeah, no, I am. It's my laptop is having a little bit of
technical difficulties. Take your time. But yeah, it'd be pretty dope to get that in a Shang-Chi movie. Just because I don't know, nobody knows enough about Shang-Chi. It'd be a fresh start away from Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And the fatigue that people have on that. I liked Iron Fist. I understand that it was rushed.
I liked the second season.
I didn't like how the second season ended.
You know, I didn't either. I'm not even going to try and spin it. I didn't either.
I mean, the whole season was dope. The fight scenes were dope. The iconic scenes were dope. His fighting was so much better because it wasn't rushed. Mm-hmm. And it's like, good thing you got canceled.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was one of the creative differences that Marvel was having with Netflix.
Definitely. Word on the street is that Disney or Marvel is trying to do another take on the Defenders for the Disney Plus, which I mean I'd be cool with. I'm okay. I know I brought up that not on the show, but weeks and weeks ago, that supposedly Netflix was threatening to sue Disney because of that thing about them trying to do their own Defenders and stuff.
Sorry guys, not a previous episode, but
this wasn't on episode. This was before we even decided to start doing this.
Yeah, me and Cay. But yeah, go ahead.
But no, yeah, I think I'm interested. You know, I'm not a big fan. I don't go out of my way to watch a lot of kung fu movies, but when they're done right, you know what I mean? I can enjoy them for what they are. You know, I can get into it. I can get invested into it and shit like that.
Yeah.
So considering that this is a guy who just trained his ass off to master his chi control, and he could just whip ass while doing it. It's nothing like Iron Fist where he fought a dragon and got imbued with powers and
it's
stuff.
It's just through sheer hard work and determination. Exactly. I feel like that's my theme of the day today.
Hey man, living up to the themes, brother.
Yeah, man.
But
doing 3:45 a.m. shifts to noon. Still drawing, still up. Still got more work to do.
Still doing the damn thing. All right, so I know this was going to be theory crafting about Phase 4, but I count this movie as part of Phase 4, even though Feige came out and said that it wasn't. We're talking about Far From Home right now.
Okay.
So first off, hella excited about it.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be a phenomenal movie.
I'm not ready for the emotional toll that it's going to take on me. Like,
I don't know if I should repeat this on recording, but I didn't cry in Endgame. I mean, I love
you monster, you goddamn monster. You didn't cry.
As I say, I love the death scene. It was so well done. Nah, Spidey's improv scene, that's what almost got me. When he was dying in Infinity War. Yeah. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And it's like, that shows acting chops.
Exactly.
When you find out that was nothing but improv between RDJ and Tom Holland. Like,
that was amazing.
Damn.
That was amazing. And what I read off of that was that RDJ pushes for the people he worked with to do improv because that's the type of actor that he is, right? Mm-hmm. He was not prepared for that. That's why when he's looking so shocked, that's his genuine reaction. Like he was like, what? And then obviously he realized what was going on, so he went with it. But the initial turnaround, like that was pure RDJ reaction. Like he wasn't acting that.
That's crazy.
Okay.
So how do you feel this Spider-Man movie is going to go? I know you got some ideas.
Okay, I know where I want it to go. All right, I do. Okay.
So so what you're saying is you have two different ones, where you want it to go and where you think it will go.
See, maybe it's me being biased because I feel like where I want it to go is probably where it's gonna go. But then again, like I always say, Marvel's they lied to us. They lied to us, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So where I want it to go, I want the multiverse theory, not even theory, what they drop in the trailer is that there's multiverse. I want that to be true. It's obvious it's true, but I want it to be, I know everyone's thought process or everyone's thinking about
Mysterio
lying. He's lying. I don't want it to be that. so black and blue. I want this to be the falling of Mysterio. What turns him to being Mysterio? I don't want him to just come over and already
be that iconic.
You know, I want him to actually try and be the hero. You know, fail or succeed, but then obviously gets found out for like being a hero for all the wrong reasons. I mean, I'm fine with him being a hero to be a glory hound. That's fine with me.
Here's what I think the reality is. He is from a different like, you know, reality. No play on words.
Right.
But I think in his world, he's a failed hero or a villain who left his world to try and actually genuinely be a hero, to then get upstaged by Spidey.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I think you just having technical.
Yeah, my laptop, I'm trying to pull up all these stuff for Phase 4 and like my laptop just doesn't want to work. Can you just let me log in, please? I'm sorry, continue.
Where was that?
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I think he genuinely wants to be a good guy.
Right.
But gets upstaged by Spider-Man. And once he gets upstaged by Spider-Man, we start to see the turn and the fall of Mysterio into the iconic comic character who claims that he's from this, like, you know, that this Earth is 616. But to be honest, I think he's from 616.
And we're not. Yeah, because like I know the Earth, when MCU started off, it was designated Earth 1999999. Right? Or however many nines.
Yeah, unless what this snap did is change the reality in which the MCU is in. Because now,
I mean, I guess that's possible.
It would be different than what all the other fan theories were saying. That the X-Men were coming to the MCU. Nobody ever thought that the MCU would go to the to a different universe.
Right. Yeah.
And if it's like the comic book universe, then we can get our iconic things. It's like, say hypothetically, like right now, Disney and Marvel aren't like, you know, trying to get negotiations to talk with Universal for Hulk and Namor and Associated.
Right.
If that's in fact their game plan, which if I was running Disney, that would be my next game plan. We just got what we wanted from like our long-standing like rival. I think we can like get two main standing characters from them if we got the whole term mutants from a whole nother company. So
that's true.
So my thought process is, if I was running Disney, I keep it pushing. It's not a monopoly. I just want those characters. What's ours? It was that Stanley's Dying Rich, along with Sophie Turner staying as Jean Grey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like with that in mind, that'd be mission number 2, to get like, you know, rights to do Hulk another film. And if it ain't Hulk, then Namor.
I would love a Namor movie.
I mean, you know that Marvel is at least interested in Namor because they wouldn't have wasted their time with that Easter egg.
Both Easter eggs. Okay, you talking about the earthquake in Endgame?
No.
Oh, well, you're obviously talking about the picture of the. I know the one Easter egg. I thought you were also talking about. So, for those who didn't watch Endgame, there's a reference. Nat is kind of running, I guess, her own makeshift of the Avengers, and she's keeping in contact with everyone that participated in Infinity War. And Okoye relays that there was seismic activity in the ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And pretty sure, you know, seismic activity, water.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's Namor. And let's be real, if Thanos snapped away 50% of all life throughout the cosmos, we know some Atlanteans got fucked with.
Well, they definitely did. But I mean, until the MCU or Kevin Feige comes out and confirms that,
right?
I can't, like, it's not enough there. Like, I mean, like, you can straight up be like, oh, a dot in the middle of the ocean is clearly Atlantis. But I mean, like, an earthquake in the middle of the ocean, yeah, like that kind of points to Atlantis in the same aspect. But I mean, it could have just been an earthquake. And,
like Okoye says, it could have just been an earthquake.
Yeah, it could have just been an earthquake. And it's like, the reason why I say that is because the scene in itself stresses how much and how overprotective Black Widow is now of the world that she forsaken a couple films ago.
Exactly.
So, like, for me, like, I feel like it was a little bit of a needed thing to kind of, because, like, that was essentially the first scene we saw with Black Widow. Mm-hmm. So I think that was like needed to kind of like solidify, and it could have been a double entendre, quite truthfully. It could have been both. But I think it was more so to solidify her position in the film
as being this leader.
Yeah, as being this leader that she's been running the Avengers, opposed to how she's been portrayed in the trailers as this person that's like trying to get vengeance and like training her ass off and everything like that.
Being trained to be prepared and all that other shit.
Yeah.
I can see it that way as well. But yeah, no, going on back to Spider-Man. I'm so stoked for this movie. I mean, I guess you really can't theory craft that. Well, you can, but
so okay.
No, the one thing I am excited for, not to cut you off, I'm so sorry, the dichotomy between Fury and Spider-Man, and seeing the difference between his mentorship with being a mentee with Tony and now being a mentee with Fury, and just seeing how different Tony and Fury are at operating at things and stuff like that.
I think it's an interesting take. I think Peter is going to start making those bigger steps towards his iconic Spider-Man. Yeah. Like how he is in the comics currently. Mm-hmm. Be 23 with the company.
Right.
A successful worldwide company. Is it worldwide? Yeah, I believe it's worldwide.
I believe it's worldwide. I mean, it's Parker Industries.
I mean, it doesn't mean it's worldwide, but
I mean, it could very well.
I believe they said that it was like America, as successful as Stark Industries, if not more.
I think it was a little bit more.
Yeah. And
I do remember that issue. They had a fight about who was like successful.
Yeah, so if it's more successful, then I would say that it's global. Right.
I would assume that it's global. I mean, we know it's prominent and it's very heavy in America.
Right. It would have been in a shack instead of in a skyscraper in New York.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure
that's expensive. That's expensive.
You seen how expensive the fucking the what do you call those little flats are out there or whatever you want to call them, the studio apartments?
Well, why would I look at a studio apartment in New York? That's just not, I don't get that kind of money.
Whatever. I'm just saying, people be curious. I don't know your life. I don't know what you've gone through, where you've been. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's say, yes, you do. In fact, yes, you do. You know better than anyone.
Okay, so I'm trying to pull up the dates. I can't seem to find them. But one thing I do want to change onto Spider-Man.
What do you think I have another question on Spider-Man. Okay. Do you think the Elementals are what the rumors say, robots, magic, or illusions? I guess if they're robots, it would still be an illusion, huh?
Yeah, see...
But I meant
it seems
like cool. Comic book style illusion. Like he found a way to make light hurt.
Then I just want it to be magic if that's the case. Like honestly, like.
I mean, it can kind of hit on that same tune that Thor did with the whole like science and magic thing, like being one and the same.
I mean, I guess.
Like he found a way to technologically reproduce.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never been a fan of the whole. I'm just an illusionist.
Well, okay. So
I like Mysterio where they have him actually in possession of magical artifacts.
So I'm just saying, technologically, it'd be cool if his gauntlets, because you know how smoke comes up instead of Strange's light particles.
Okay, yeah.
So what if his gauntlets distribute just to replicate what he's seen?
I guess that's
like
possible.
in his universe, like to technologically replicate it.
I mean, this is a universe where they have LMDs and nanomass that change appearances and whatnot. So anything is possible. That I don't know. If it's technology, then you know what? I can actually
because it's like
get behind that because
it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's technology.
But I also saw online the whole Spider-Man and cloak in the cloak of levitation.
I think
on social media.
I think that was just a mock photo, though. I know which one you're talking about.
Could be
like a little just a fat photo.
In the Iron Spider-Man suit?
Pull it up. Maybe I'm thinking of another one.
Let's see.
Right now, I'm trying to find the timelines for Phase 4.
Let's see. Pictures are always the hardest thing to find stuff. Especially when you're scrolling through Instagram.
Right.
But I don't think we have the time to really look for this picture.
Yeah, I can't find the but anyway, let's talk about a movie that you're hella. Are you hella excited for this movie, The Eternals?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Pretty stoked for it.
Because it will be okay. So Marvel, I feel, had two main opportunities to really place the X-Men and start laying their eggs for the X-Men,
right? And
the idea of mutants in the MCU at least.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to go to a natural birth, the original origins route, I think the Eternals film would be the film that you can do that in. And the reason why is because of the externals. And even though they're not the Eternals, they were they're an offshoot. I just feel because the externals are actually, even if it's by not even close relation, they're still related to the Eternals. People commonly get the two.
They're all, externals are just mutants that just cannot die. They can die, but they can't naturally die. They can't die of old age.
Yeah, and it's how I see it, it's the Eternals is the perfect opportunity today. Not only introduce the idea, because it's not just going to be only Eternals in the movie. It can't be.
Well, no, because because we gotta realize Eternals are one of the first civilizations of humanity of Kree, of Skrull, whatever.
Yeah,
that was experimented, on, gained powers and all that stuff.
And I think we're going to see a bit of that in the Eternals movie.
We have to. That's the story.
Yeah, and I think that's where we'll get the layers, because by the existence of the externals, we know mutants exist or will. Even if we toss out all the Disney got rights back to X-Men and we know that they're coming kind of thing. When it comes to right now, when events are happening, if that's the case, if the externals are in the Eternals movie, then mutants exist.
I doubt they'll be in the Eternals movie.
I could hope.
Because if what I'm thinking is because the externals, they don't start popping up until the X gene starts popping up, and that's thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
And we're talking about
Eternals.
We're talking about Eternals who can live thousands and thousands of years long, and their history is going to obviously be different than like we can honestly see it as like a after credit.
True.
And it's still like, you know, set that up. And it's like, that's how small of a thing that I want as a nod off to the X-Men being in the MCU already.
So like what? Like,
or being in the MCU like at like now. Like, cause like the possibility was there, but then like we still don't know, like I said, like we still don't know what's happening in Far From Home. And because we don't know what's happening in Far From Home, we don't know what's happening with the MCU. Yeah. And it's like that really sets the groundwork, which is probably why Kevin Feige said that that's technically like, you know, the start but the end of the like, you know, phases.
Right.
Because his film will be setting the groundwork while every other film will like set the groundwork of things that are happening in the MCU. Because now we know when we go see film, look for a subplot. Because something big may be coming. Like now everybody knows to analyze Marvel films. So now they can take leeways and everything when it comes to how they're going to be able to expand this universe from here on out.
I wouldn't mind to go back to the Eternals. I wouldn't mind Selene popping up. Just like maybe Selene running into...
That's who I think it's going to be.
Because if we just get a very beautiful, voluptuous woman in all black sucking life energy out of someone, you know, then we got it, baby.
The only unfortunate thing about Endgame that was never addressed was death. Like Thanos' like intent to court death, as the Chitauri Deviant implied.
The other you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was just because me personally, I don't know if this is what was done behind the scenes over there at Marvel or whatever, but I think what is the guy, I'm trying to blank on his name, the guy that came in and directed Avengers 1 and 2?
Joss
Whedon. When Whedon came in, I think that's what he wanted, was for Death to come in. But once Marvel got the Russos, they overhauled that and was like, probably like, nah, that's a stupid idea. Let's make this an actual, like, you know, like a heroic thing in his eyes, you know, not just some man that wants to impress a chick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we all know, you know, I mean, it's known that Whedon has that type of mentality to kind of be, I don't want to say cheeky or anything, but I mean, like the boob thing with Banner falling into Widow's breast, and then over on DC, Flash falling into Wonder Woman's breast, you know, that kind of like immature boys will be boys mentality type thing, you know? So I think that's what he wanted to do. But
so I just had the craziest idea. So you know how there's rumors of Keanu being in Eternals. Okay, so what if he's Star Fox?
Isn't that Thanos'
he's listed
brother?
As
Isn't that Thanos' brother? I don't think he'll be Star Fox.
He's one of the Eternals of the Titans. So yeah, I believe so.
I mean, but what I was reading was that he was being eyed for a villain role.
A villain role?
Yeah. I mean, Star Fox is a good guy. He's an asshole, but he is a good guy.
I mean, I think Keanu would do great. That's his role, and he looked like him too. It's like,
I don't think so.
This is the angle that I'm looking at him from.
I don't.
Then he probably play somebody weird like Druid. I don't even know who that is.
I mean, like I said, the rumors are saying that he's being eyed to play a villain. So, I mean, who knows? I'm not too well known on the Eternals.
I mean, Druid is called Druid of Nightmares. I don't know. He looked evil, so that's why I clicked on him.
Let me see. I can see Keanu playing this person. Druig, Druig. I can see Keanu playing this guy.
And he's like known as... Oh, wow.
Look at that. It's already a fan cast picture of it.
Yep. Yep, I can see it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's...
What do you think about Angelina Jolie being cast in the movie?
She better be Celine.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. Because she looks like she can play Celine.
Yeah. And it's like you don't even need to say that she's an external. Like just by saying that her name is Celine, word will spread like a wildfire.
Yeah.
So much cat hair in here. Back.
But I'm interested in the externals actually, especially since I know some things about the Eternals. Excuse me, but
yeah, but I want to know more.
Yeah,
like I want to be interested. Like I'm glad that they're doing somebody so out of the box, but still so powerful.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a whole nother like franchise that they can franchise.
Exactly.
And it's like, who knows what kind of shit was around over like 10,000 years ago when the Eternals were around?
Around there, I don't know the exact date. But yeah, and I'm super interested to see how they do Icarus low-key.
Huh.
What are you reading over there?
He's Icarus. Druig is Icarus's cousin, the uncle and father, or the father of Vulcan and the uncle of Viraco.
Never heard of him.
His alias is Ivan Druig.
Here. So phase 4 is supposed to start 2020 and in 2024, or that's the time stamps that they have from 2020 to 2024. All right, so we're going to move over to Guardians of the Galaxy 3, quote unquote, what I'm calling it as Guardians of the Galaxy. How do you think that'll go?
I think
that'll most likely be one of the later movies we get in the phase.
Such a shame because I want it sooner. I think it's going to be hilarious, first off. But the question is how powerful is Beta Ray Bill if he's in the movie? And how powerful is Adam?
I would assume Beta Ray Bill is probably...
Because I feel like
Thor,
the Guardians...
Rock strength, at least. Well, maybe not Thor.
I feel like the Guardians would be equipped to deal with like Beta Ray, but not Adam. And that's if Thor's
without Thor?
No, I'm saying like and that's where Thor would come in at.
Yeah.
In the fight, like he focused on Adam.
Oh wait, so
and like we get the whole iconic Beta Ray Bill fight between him and Thor, and like Thor probably still like. I don't know. I doubt he has both his hammers, but I feel like they may try and write that in.
Nah, what I was just thinking about right now. If they tried to write that in, I'd be kind of irritated. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What I think is we got that thing about where they were going to in Infinity War, where Thor wants to go to Nidavellir or whatever, however you call it.
Nidavellir?
Yeah, that place. And excuse me. They're going there. They want to go there, and Quill says, "Well, why can't we go? Don't you think we should have Thanos killing weapons of the kind?" Thor goes, "Oh, you guys wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah.
Your bodies would fall apart while it drives your minds into madness. What if Beta Ray Bill is able to pick up if that's the case with Stormbreaker, since it's a king's weapon and stuff, what if Beta Ray Bill is able to pick it up and ignore that?"
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking will happen. Like they'll get that bout with like we'll see that bout in the film, but where Thor will have to like fight and it'll be more of a question of him and his ego.
Yeah.
Fight Beta or Adam. Where this will probably come in, like where the feud will probably be, if this is in fact what the movie is, the feud will probably be between like him and Quill, and like, you know, fighting over like who's actually like, the captain of the ship.
Right.
And it's like, while they're having this feud, Quill probably has a way to actually maybe subdue Beta, but it's a question of if Thor can get out of his ego and not try and step up to Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, and we're going off of like, we're assuming that MCU Adam Warlock is going to be the exact same as comic book Adam Warlock. And we got to remember that comic book Adam Warlock has the soul stone or the soul gem implanted in his forehead. That's what makes him just so out there and so aware and stuff like that. It makes him, adds a little bit to his strength level and his power.
He can be like how the Game Master is.
It's not the game. It's the you're talking about from Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm. But like how he is in the comics.
No, it's not Taskmaster. No, I know it's not the Game Master. It's John Blanks, man.
Right. All today.
It's in the comics. He's the Collector's brother.
Yeah.
One of the elders of the universe.
Let's see. Grandmaster, there it is. The Grandmaster, I think Adam could potentially be more like him, more like methodical and orchestrating, like, you know, events and people into certain events.
Comic accurate Grandmaster? Because Ragnarok Grandmaster, once Thor got there, he was kind of like a putz. Let's be real.
Like, yeah, comic book Grandmaster, not Thor Ragnarok Grandmaster.
And for those that aren't up to date with this supposed plot leak or rumor for the movie, it's supposed to be that Adam and Beta Ray Bill they team up or whatever, are they in cahoots, and that is the reason why they wrote in Thor being on the Guardians. As well as developing his character more, and Hemsworth wanting to still play Thor, but yeah, I think that would be cool though. I think it would be dope. That Guardians 3, I love Guardians. That's one movie that in the same boat as you, really disappointed because like it's gonna be one of the later movies that we get, and I want it now. Like,
yeah.
And then Black Panther 2. No, scrap Black Panther 2. We'll save that. Or do you want... No. Black Panther 2. Let's go with Black Panther 2 right now. We'll save that for sure.
Okay. Since they can't do a solo film for Hulk, I'm assuming that that's the same thing. They can always use Namor as a...
I'm fairly certain he's going to appear in Black Panther 2.
I'm fairly certain he's going to be the villain. The antagonist. And the reason why I say that... Yeah, and it's like this... Okay, so this will be... if this is in fact the case, this will be the only time I will back your whole in-game theory about the earthquake in the ocean. If that is in fact true, that means that that Wakanda could actually know of Atlantis and could be trying to steer like surface world away from them. Because they said that they like, split off, like, from other like worlds, like from the other world and everything. Like they never specified about Wakanda, like the king. in the history, like of Wakanda, that they had
no, the Jabari tribe split off.
No, I'm saying like all of Wakanda was essentially like, you know, isolated from the world, but then the Jabari tribe separated from them.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is they never specified or any knowledge of the out like, you know, the other world. They had spies all around the world.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
So it's like,
I thought you were saying that they were cut off from a different world. Like,
no. Yeah, no. I feel that there's a lot of room to write in that Wakanda actually has met the King of Atlantis, and things are on testy terms with them. Like they,
T'Chaka met Namor back in the day. Like,
and that Namor, and you know, quite truthfully, you can say like Namor is an external. Because, like, quite truthfully, he's an enigma. He's like a mutant amongst his own people.
Yeah, but I guess. But that's not fair because Atlanteans have a long lifespan anyway.
True, and that's what you can put on Namor, that like, you know, essentially
because he's not in the comics. He's not an external. He's not classic. He has, like, from what I remember,
he could be king. He could have been king like 3 generations ago.
Well, I mean, in the comics, that nigga's over 500 years old. So
yeah,
I mean, it's possible. But also, supposedly, since he's not fully Atlantean and he's half mutant or whatever, his Atlantean lifespan is cut in half. So however long Atlanteans can live for, he's only going to have
if they keep it.
Yeah, if they keep that.
Yeah.
Once again, this is I'm going off of original like comic when he first appeared, or well, rather when he was first introduced as a mutant. Rather, should I say? Because they called him Marvel's first mutant, but he wasn't the first written mutant.
Yeah,
he's only Marvel's first mutant because, you know, whatever you say.
Yeah, the first one at that time.
Yeah,
until they discovered Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse and the Externals and all that other crap.
Yeah, it's always the first until you do it again.
Exactly. So. I kind of want Kraven the Hunter up here. I know that's a Spider-Man that deals with Sony and Spider-Man, but Ryan Coogler wants Kraven, and it seems, and Marvel.
I feel like he can.
I feel like he can too.
But
it seems like Marvel would do anything for their directors. I mean, the directors that are actually, you know, because Coogler and the Russos, Marvel's already said, whenever they'll throw any movie at them.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Kraven, I feel like it'd be a missed opportunity for Namor, but. I mean, because it's like, I wouldn't want Kraven to be like Claw.
Oh, killed off so easily, or just a sub character?
Yeah,
like a
sub villain, or like a sub protagonist. I'd rather him be like a protagonist or like a mercenary or something like that.
Well, he wouldn't be a protagonist. He'd definitely be an antagonist.
I'd rather him be a mercenary then. That Wakanda has to like that T'Challa like ends up like hiring instead of bringing the Dora Milaje with him to like, you know, deal with Namor. That's if they're like both in the film. I'm not letting go of Namor. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's your theory, cast.
Yeah. No.
You know what?
It's ours.
Well, yeah, true. I don't know. When I first got hip to Kraven, I didn't like him at all. I thought he was this annoying fucking asshole that just kept popping up to fuck with Spider-Man. But like, I mean, he still is. Don't get me wrong. But I'm more open to him, I guess, appearing in Black Panther just because. While saying this out loud makes it really seem like it's going to be a repeat of the first one, but with a white guy. I was gonna say just because like his power set is kind of similar, like he's enhanced, and yeah, no, but
and you know that like that.
I guess they could save. It would be better if they saved
that movie. Unfortunately, gets a lot of shit for like Black Panther gets a lot of shit for the end scene for the CG.
I just got in it with,
and you know they only had like 6 weeks to do that. Which is significantly, they have like months to work on that, and they had like weeks.
It wasn't to me, it wasn't even. I didn't even. It wasn't bad to me. As how I saw it was like.
Yeah, from what I read and watched on YouTube, they had no time at all to really polish up the animation for that infight scene. But what they did in the matter of time that they did it in was phenomenal.
Maybe I'm just a putz, but I didn't even know. It didn't look bad to me. It looked great. I love the infight.
Well, there's some things that you don't do. Like the infight probably should have never been in the underground tunnel. Why? Because both of the characters are wearing black and the background's black.
Sure.
You can't really see any of the fight. You have to really try to see the fight. Like when it comes to minute details, subtle, dodges or bob and weaves and everything. You see only the major motions. None of the subtle ones. These are.
I didn't have that problem. I seen that fight clear as day. I don't know. Maybe it's the setting on my TV.
It's a color grading thing. It's very subtle, but it makes a huge difference when it comes to animation. And you normally don't want. That's like watching somebody in a sky blue shirt walk across the sky.
Sure.
You'll probably be able to see them because they're there doing that shit, but it's going to be difficult to notice where their body is in relation to the environment. That's all.
Okay. But yeah, I love Black Panther. That movie was good.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Definitely.
So we're gonna hop over to one of our top favorite Marvel characters, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange 2, this movie. How do you want that to be?
I don't really care. I just want to see it.
You just want it. You just want it out. You just want to see it.
I just want to see it. I can't possibly You know what? Actually, yes, I do know exactly how I want Doctor Strange 2 to go. Dude.
Well, right here, I'm on the wiki, and they say for the villain, Nightmare.
Oh yeah, I remember them. Now I remember them saying the director saying that that's what they wanted to do.
Really?
Yeah.
This is news to me.
Yeah, the Nightmare Dimension. Super excited for that too.
That's gonna be dope.
But yeah, I'd still want Doom.
Oh hell yeah!
Because introduce Mephisto. Use Doctor Strange to introduce Mephisto. Yes, you can introduce.
He's in the universe.
Yeah,
you got Ghost Rider.
We have Ghost Rider, and we have the Book of the Damned.
Exactly.
So it's he's in it.
I call it the Darkhold.
Darkhold, yeah, that is a better name for it because that's the MCU. That's what's written on it in the MC, in the comics. Yeah. Darkhold.
Yeah, Darkhold. Definitely introduce Mephisto. It's about damn time. We've had Ghost Rider for years, even before he appeared on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which by far one of my favorite seasons. My favorite season, actually. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Honestly, what I wanted from Doctor Strange 2 was them to introduce Doom and let it be kind of like a team up movie, kind of like how they did the tournament to see who would become Sorcerer Supreme, and whoever Doom won second place. Strange obviously won first place, which it wasn't even fair that he was competing in the tournament to become his next job. You know what I mean? But the caveat to that was that whoever won first place had to do a favor to whoever won second place. It really sucked for the person that won in first place. But the favor was what Doom asked of him was to go to Mephisto's realm and help him get his mother back. And that's something that I would love to see for
that was an ad on your computer.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. I don't know if the mic picked it up or not.
If it did, you guys probably just heard some music.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that for. I mean, if not Doctor Strange 2, Doctor Strange 3, but I really want that Doctor Strange 2.
I need it for Doctor Strange 2. We can even have Nightmare as, like, you know, it can be like Nightmare and, like, you know, and Mephisto, like TBH. Like, it could even be Nightmare. Like, it could be like, okay, help me with this. I'll help you with that kind of thing. Like, scratch my back, scratch your back kind of situation. I'd be happy with that.
I'll be fine with that.
And then in the third one, Doctor Strange, the Illuminati.
Who would fill Tony's role, though? You think Peter?
No.
Too much for him.
I feel like this Black Panther isn't as, like, you know, polar, like, you know, against the idea that, like, you know, than something like that. Cause, like, I mean, he quickly joined the Avengers and helped out Captain America.
True.
So, I mean, like...
He's not so set in his ways, that comic book.
Yeah. So I feel like Black Panther would be part of the Illuminati.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying who would take Iron Man's role? Black Panther's always been part of the Illuminati.
Probably Captain Marvel.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Because she would be the eccentric futurist. She would pull that I've been around longer kind of thing. This is what we need to do.
Plus, she's been around future tech since the freaking 90s. So
yeah, and it's like when it comes to members that they'd actually, like, you know, look at, it's like they think maybe like Bruce, but then if rumors are true about him being in retirement for a show, like then they're not going to bother Bruce.
Right. True.
So it's like she's the next best candidate. Thor's unreliable because he's always off world.
Well, talking about off world in Spider-Man Homecoming, she's off world. So wouldn't that apply to her too?
True.
Especially since this Captain Marvel is supposed to be, you know.
Unless by the time we see Illuminati, she's not really needed in, or like she operates in Sword.
They probably have like Alpha Flight and Sword already kind of.
Yeah.
I guess that's.
And communication, like deep space communication, is a lot easier.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we saw a huge technological jump in the last, like, 5 years that was in Endgame.
Yeah. I was going over the whole kind of movie. True. But you don't think she'll fill Cap's spot when he was in the Illuminati? I mean, yeah, given they mind wiped him and threw his ass out because he wasn't for the shit that they wanted to do.
Yeah, I think Spidey would be that. Like, so we know that he's going to be a front runner, and by the time Doctor Strange 3 comes out, Tom Holland's probably going to be like looking old enough, and Peter's going to be old enough for the third film.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but I don't want to depend on Spider-Man as a casting character for any other films because of that whole Sony deal and not knowing what's that about.
Right. Yeah, I get you with that one. Well, to touch on that, let's just hope that, you know, if not already, they're working on ways to become better friends and, you know, and have them. I mean, like a permanent relationship, I'm totally okay with that. You know, just have Sony get their character. Like,
right? Sony, Sony should push out Marvel Universe for game.
Yeah, I'm down. Oh, I'm down with that.
And focus on that. Not
trying to have Sony.
Not micromanage it. but devote time and more resources to it to get more stuff off the ground.
Right.
In up and running. Like, have games pumping out like a damn steam train. Like...
Okay, so to keep this episode under time, we're going to do one more theme. We're going to talk about how would you want the Fantastic Four to be introduced?
You know, I've been waiting for this one.
Yes, I have.
The negative zone.
The negative zone.
The mind. Okay, so Reed Richards is the most intelligent man in the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
The goddamn multiverse.
And the one that we see is the smartest out of all Reeds.
And that's in the comics. So it's like, of course.
Sure, that is in the comics.
So in the MCU, if this is the 616, if that is in fact true what Mysterio is saying, then the Reed is probably like either A, fixing the multiverse, and then comes back like, what the fuck?
Right. Like, dude.
Or B,
70 years trying to fix this shit.
B, he got stuck in the negative zone with his family. And they've just been surviving in the negative zone and then waiting to, like, you know...
And then, like, they haven't aged while they're down there and all that other stuff.
Exactly. And it's been, like...
Probably aged.
Yeah. And then it's like, then you can in turn say that the negative zone is connected to the quantum realm.
Right.
And it's like, it's...
Connected how? Like, explain, like...
It's the other side.
Okay.
Of the quantum realm.
So the more you kept, like, how Scott and...
Like, just like...
Hank was shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying, like, the more you shrink...
how they go subatomic, that they, like, if they were...
To the negative zone?
Yeah, but if like, you know, okay, so if how they're going to explain the quantum realm is if you can shrink down to such a small level that it's a whole nother universe, then in theory you should be able to shrink down even smaller and there be a negative universe.
Okay.
And it's like, at least that's my thought process. So I can only see it as like, if you're telling me that, okay, here's our universe, a big giant world, and then you shrink down and then, you go down like a few, like he's going down in actual size. So for me, that looks like a time of like a number bar. If that makes sense, from like, you know, 0 all the way to infinity.
Like the scale, number scale.
Yeah, number scale, like all the way up to infinity. And it's like all number scales, when you hit 0, there's always a -1. And it always continues to negative infinity because there's always like a duality to things.
Right.
And this is in like so many, this is in our everyday life. This is in like, you know, films in the entertainment that we watch. There's always a parallel to the things we watch and in the people that we hang around.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, random eye opener right there. But I don't know. To me, I think that the negative zone can exist. It'd be dope. It solidify characters, the idea of characters like Blue Marvel, which is another powerhouse.
We'll probably dedicate a full episode to that.
Yeah, I'm down for that
for sure.
Because you know who I want to cast as that.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. The negative zone.
I mean, I want the negative zone really bad, but if you had to settle, obviously it would be the quantum realm. But I would just want them to just be chilling in that little quantum realm city that we've seen in Ant-Man 2. Mm-hmm. Maybe like drinking daiquiris or some shit, you know, like Reeves just chilling.
They already had like, you know,
like Franklin's already born, Valeria's born, you know what I'm saying?
And you just jump to the good stuff.
Just dive right in.
That's what the fans want.
That's what we want.
And that's what everyone deserves.
Just dive right in. Make a reason as to why, or, you know, maybe they was like, okay, we're stuck here, so we got to make best of what's, you know, of the situation. Mm-hmm. They finally figure a way out, or maybe they get pulled out somehow, you know, and whatever the case may be. Yeah. You know, if we had to settle for that.
I feel that.
But yeah, that's going to bring this episode to an end.
All right, man. It was great talking to you, like always.
As always, brother. Always great talking to you, man.
Yeah, I could keep going, to be honest, but...
Yeah, we got to keep this... We're literally at an hour now, so...
You added 30 seconds. I'm going about the second, G. But all right, let's sign out.
All right, see you later, brother.
Peace.